like almost nothing in life is binary.
True.
Right? And so I think we need to like appreciate that. So if someone's like saying, hey, I've got anxiety about this, again, English teacher in class, one of the pieces of that curriculum for English is oral communication. And a lot of English classes like do a presentation, right? Like get up in front of your peers, in front of your class, and talk in front of them. Public speaking is one of the things that scares, like literally it's their top fear for a lot of people in the world. Like, I want nothing to do with speaking in front of someone else, right? That causes anxiety. That causes anxiety for anyone at the best of times, usually.
Right.
I think it's really important to work through that and try to conquer that. But again, it's a range and a scale, right? It's like, oh, I don't like this, or I don't feel good about that, versus I'm having like, I haven't slept in the last 3 nights, I know this presentation's coming. And we have students with both those things, right? Someone's like, I don't like this. I'm going to feel a little uncomfortable going up and giving this presentation, which I haven't been able to sleep for 3 days because I knew this presentation was coming and I can't conceive of getting in front of a class of people and speaking in front of them. So I think it's understanding those things and working through them and appreciating the understanding. So again, we all express anxiety, but like anxiety can be a disability too, and it can be like something that's psychologically diagnosed for someone on different levels. So I think it's appreciating those things, and then whatever it is managing. I don't think we just walk away like, oh, you've got this, you're feeling stressed out, let's not have you do anything then. That's not the answer. It's appreciating what is behind it, what's going on, where are you on that scale, and then how can we support you with those things. And I think the goal should always be like, let's remove that anxiety from your life where you can function any way you want to in society without having that anxiety be debilitating for you. But it's not hey kid, like let's put on the tough gloves here and just get up there and suck it up and do it. Well, I think that mentality will work for some students, and actually like, oh god, I'm actually glad I got the tough gloves there for my teacher or my parent or my coach for whatever it is we're talking about, and then I went and did it. But for other students, like that's not where they're at. It's not that's not a good way to handle it, right? And you're actually going to do more harm than good, which again sucks because the answer is it's really complicated. And so how do you have the skills to figure out what's really going on in the moment and figure out and find the strategies that you've got to support that student with it?
Yeah, I guess everything is just complicated, especially when it comes to learning.
It's because, again, it's just people, right? And we are complicated. Each one of us is really complicated, and each one of us is unique and different from the other.
Yeah, I mean, I the one reason why I thought of that is because I used to work at Best Buy. And when I worked at Best Buy, you know, like tech stuff, a lot of young kids who would come in who looked like they were 16, 17, they would come in like with a parent, with their mom or dad or whatever, and they were shopping for themselves. Like usually what would happen was they would come in looking for like a keyboard or some type of desk monitor, something for gaming. But for whatever reason, they weren't able to relay that information to me and ask themselves, so they would kind of have to use their parents.
Like, hey, and the parents have no clue, right? You see that, right? And it's just like, and I mean, even I think that's just part of growing up too, right? Like where's that transition in your life, and where do you feel comfortable to step away from your parents and be unique and on your own versus this? And I'm sure there's different items. I was like, okay, whose money is it, right? If it's mom or dad, I was like, hey, there's a certain price range we're talking about here. So, or it can just come with that. Can I walk into a store and talk to a stranger and express myself and feel confident express myself that this is what I want, or am I looking to mom or dad to kind of take that over for me? I think that's a fair thing, and not something we should ideally have. Like by the time, I would say, like, you know, by the time you're 16 or 17, I'd want my child to have the skills to walk in and manage that themselves.
I agree.
And what are we maybe not doing right as an education system? If you're at Best Buy, you're seeing a lot of kids come in not with the confidence to do that.
I mean, I guess it's also important for me, at least, to remember that not everyone's like me. Just because, like, when I'm 16, 15 years old, I had no really problem to go and talk to people, you know? Like, I played sports, my parents are immigrants, so a lot of times they'd say, like, go ask them instead of having them ask, you know?
I think that's, like, there's probably a cultural thing to that, too. And again, like, I'm never a fan of stereotypes, but I can see, like, an immigrant Turkish family, like, how you are, like in a community base and in a group of people, and how you react and what the expectations are and what situations your parents put you in and what their expectations are of you might be different than some other cultural groups and some cultural backgrounds, right?
Definitely. I mean, and it makes sense because, like, if you have parents who don't really know English well, but you do, and, you know, they're kind of like pushing you to go ask for the receipt or ask for whatever, it makes sense versus having a parent that, you know, has lived here and knows English. You know, you're definitely going to see different things in life.
100%. Like, that experience I'm sure, like, that is transformative for a lot of children of immigrants, is like if you've come up in Ontario, example, for the most part as a child, and your parents didn't, and their English is not great yet, and yours is, they're going to probably look to you in a lot of situations to be the adult and manage situations and be the communicator. You're like, hey, you need to do this because you can, right? And maybe that's just your normal, and so you just do it and you grow up with that and it's cool. Whereas it's on the flip side for like maybe some families who've been here, it's like, don't talk on my behalf ever, right? Like, this is here, like, keep your mouth quiet, like, I run the show here, right? And that's what they came up with, like, hey, you defer to your parent, you look to them, whereas your parents are like, kind of like, we need you to step in here and take care of this. And so that's something you grow up with, and how does that change that dynamic for you as a teenager and an adult?